I felt like the kids handled that well. During homecoming week, there's opportunity for distractions and to lose your focus a little bit, but felt like the kids handled it well, and I thought we had a good week of practice, and the homecoming parade down in Hogansville was a great turnout. A lot of folks down there, and a lot of people in the parade. Just a special week for Callaway High School, and then last night on the field, we're able to get a big win over Upson Lee, and that's a big win for us. They've got a lot of kids. It's a 4A school, and they've got a good football team, and I felt like our kids executed well, and they prepared hard, and it showed last night on the field.
Well, it was a great evening. Callaway Stadium is, like you mentioned, we celebrated homecoming, a 20th anniversary for Callaway High School, as they just moved a little bit toward LaGrange from Hogansville, but the Green Wave and the Callaway Cavaliers, it was just a great halftime show, and homecoming court and all of the festivities that go along with homecoming. But, Coach, I want you to talk a little bit, if you will, about the matchup last night, Callaway being a 2A school, Upson Lee being a 4A school. Kind of describe to our listeners what that means, and with a 34-7 win over Upson Lee, how big that really was.
Well, that's a big time thing for us as far as we play several schools that are 4A and a couple of 5A schools, and to be able to win and be able to execute like we did last night was really, really positive for us. But, we've had several games of playing some really good football teams as far as playing some bigger classifications. And when you can week in and week out leaning on those bodies, bigger schools have more people, have more bodies than you do, and they usually have more depth, and to especially down in the, what we call down in the trenches with the O-line, D-line guys. It's a physical matchup, and like I said, usually they have more depth than you may have, but it's a good challenge for us, and I think it prepares us for the region. I think it prepares us for down the road in the playoff matchups we might have, and it's overall it's really good. And our schedule's tough. We've played some really good football teams, some really well coached football teams, and we were able to come away with victories. And it's a tribute to our kids and our coaching staff. I think they do a great job. Our kids stayed focused this week. Had a couple of days. Monday wasn't as good as it should be, but there was a lot of positives from practice. We had a couple of series that wasn't quite as smooth as we need to. We had some, but we did find positives from each day, and then I mentioned earlier with the parade down in Hogansville on Thursday night, just a special week at Callaway High School.
Well, we're going to break away just for a quick break, and we'll be right back to talk more about last night's victory as your Callaway Cavaliers defeat Upson Lee 34-7. We'll be right back.
Hi, friends. Just like to hear with Kia of LaGrange. Our game plan is set, and our 16-model Kia's got to go to make room for the 17 models that are arriving daily. This means extra savings for you for all our 16 models. Right now, you can take home a 16 Kia Optima LX for as low as $19,900. With prices like this, they won't last long. Hurry to 1217 Lafayette Parkway and let our Star Savings team help you get in the Kia of your dreams. Check us out online at KiaofLaGrange.com to help support your local economy.
Price plus tax, tag, and title. Stock number 19112. Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's a step in the right direction, choose the person best qualified to handle your real estate needs. Joel and Rob Upchurch have been breaking sales records every year since 1997. They truly are the real estate leaders in West Georgia. So take a step in the right direction. Contact Joel or Rob Upchurch at RE/MAX Results, because they are dedicated to results and converting transactions into relationships. Have you gotten your flu shot? Now is the time. Holmes Pharmacy is the place to get your flu shot. And if you have insurance, it could be free. So don't wait. Drive right up to Holmes Pharmacy and get your flu shot today at Commerce Avenue in LaGrange or in Hamilton. And if your doctor feels you need a high-dose flu shot, Holmes Pharmacy has you covered.
Hi, I'm Perry Prather, pharmacist at Holmes Pharmacy. So drop by Commerce Avenue in LaGrange, Georgia. We have your flu shot ready. So come see me or any of my fine staff at Holmes Pharmacy today.
There's a secret to beating injuries or ailments. Get the right team. Emory Southern Orthopedics' well-trained, experienced doctors, nurses, and staff are that team. These teammates listen and understand your specific condition and provide high-quality hometown care that will get you back into your game. For more information about Emory Southern Orthopedics team, visit www.southernorthopedics.com. In the game of football, it takes the skill and effort of a team to reach the goal line. At Commercial Bank and Trust, we know it takes the same kind of teamwork to help you reach the goal of financial security. That's why we offer a team of professionals who are dedicated to providing effective game-winning financial solutions. You'll get the expertise you need from people you know and trust. Commercial Bank and Trust, a division of the Synovus Bank, member FDIC.
Great job by Coach Napier mixing it up right here.
You like the fullback here, Andrew? All
Or
right,
they
we're
could
going to
just
give it
give
to
the
DJ
tailback
on the right
for a
side. He
touchdown.
finds a hole.
Nice.
It's going to be hard to keep him from getting 3 yards.
Oh.
Touchdown, Callaway Cavaliers.
Yeah, great job right there by DJ.
Welcome back to the Kia Showroom. I'm Brandon Brooks with head coach Pete Wiggins of the Callaway Cavaliers. On your Saturday morning quarterback show, Coach, homecoming week, it was a great victory last night, 34-7 over Upson Lee out of Thomaston. Homecoming last night, the festivities, the atmosphere, the crowd, just amazing. But just want to give a quick shout-out to our king and queen of this year's 2016. King was Michael Freeman, and the queen, Brianna Lee Williams. Just a great, great evening to be a Cavalier last night.
It sure was, and you mentioned that turnout from our crowd. I looked up at one point in the third quarter, and just to see all the stands were full and a lot of red shirts, and it was all the way around down past the where you enter the gate, and it was just a great feeling last night, a great atmosphere, and again, I earlier mentioned proud for our community. I tell you what, it just gets stronger every year, and I want to give a little shout out to our band and our cheerleaders. They do such a good job, and those young people work hard all week, and I'm just really proud of those groups of people and the work that they put in and how they represent Callaway High School. But back to the game. Coming into the game, we had obviously watched a lot of film on Upson Lee, and I had an opportunity to go see them during our off week, and they had a good football team, and it was you never know going into a game exactly how it's going to turn out, and there's always a lot of little things that determine momentum, and anyway, but I felt like that our kids did a lot of little things early that really helped sway the game, and number one was the physicality. I thought that we played with physical football up front. Our O-line and D-line really played well against a really a good team, and Upson Lee's offensive line was big, physical, good-looking kids, and I thought that our D-line did really well and enabled our linebackers to run free and run to the ball. Coach Hubbard did a great job calling plays last night and just putting our kids in good situations to make plays. And, defensively last night we had a pick six. Kobe Jackson had his second interception on the year, and anytime you can do that, it just changes momentum so fast, and it's just a great benefit as far as the game, and it just eases a lot of things from play calling. But anyway, just a game changer from Kobe Jackson, and getting that pick six, and I thought our special teams did very well last night. On kickoffs we covered well, and there were several times we tackled them inside the 20 on kickoffs, and that's always special when you can make a team drive 80 yards. There's a lot of things that can go wrong when a team has to drive 80 yards. So anyway, just a great team effort from our guys last night, and it was a good preparation coming into this game.
Well, last night for Upson Lee, a number of seniors on that squad, and it seemed like that when the Cavaliers came on the field, they came out to play, and from the very beginning of the football game, they took charge, took command, and really just executed in every aspect of the game.
Well, when we do our pregame and we go through a agility routine, and then we stretch, and then we go to our groups. After we do that, I always ask each position coach, how was your group? And last night, every one of them said, Coach, they're great. They're ready to go. And we saw that too. When we stepped on the field, our first years on offense, we had a few hiccups, but it didn't alter us. And again, the kids kept good focus, and the defense was playing solid and playing fast, and we just kept playing Callaway football. And it was, I mentioned Coach Hubbard on the defensive side, Coach Napier putting our kids in good situations offensively, and it really created some big plays for us. And again, just overall great team effort from our kids.
Well, as we talked about last night in the homecoming festivities, everything from the band, the cheerleaders, the crowd, the student section, everything. It was just a total package in what you would want to see at a homecoming night, Friday night under the lights at Callaway Stadium, and very special time. We'll talk more about that in just a minute. I'm Brandon Brooks with Coach Pete Wiggins of the Callaway Cavaliers. This is your Saturday morning quarterback show here at the Kia Showroom in LaGrange.
Hi, friends. Just like to hear with Kia of LaGrange. Our game plan is set, and our 17 model Kia's got to go to make room for the 17 models that are arriving daily. This means extra savings for you for all our 16 models. Right now, you can take home a 16 Kia Optima LX for as low as $19,900. With prices like this, they won't last long. Hurry to 1217 Lafayette Parkway and let our Star Savings team help you get in the Kia of your dreams. Check us out online at KiaLaGrange.com to help support your local economy.
Price plus tax, tag, and title. Stock number 19112. Good food. Where do you find it? Because when you spend your hard-earned money, you want good food. So the place you'll find that good food is at Rogers Barbecue on New Franklin Road in LaGrange, where they only serve American-grown catfish, barbecue cooked to perfection, and with all the fixings to make it worth every penny. Rogers Barbecue is locally owned and run with care since 1945. Come eat with us Monday through Saturday from 11 to 9, or use our carry-out window. Rogers Barbecue, New Franklin Road, LaGrange. Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's a step in the right direction, choose the person best qualified to handle your real estate needs. Joel and Rob Upchurch have been breaking sales records every year since 1997. They truly are the real estate leaders in West Georgia. So take a step in the right direction. Contact Joel or Rob Upchurch at RE/MAX Results, because they are dedicated to results and converting transactions into relationships.
Russ Brown, owner of LaGrange Equipment and Tool Rental, has all the tools and equipment handymen and contractors need in our area. And if you're planning a wedding, party, tailgate, reunion, or corporate event, LaGrange Equipment and Tool Rental has you covered. Like them on Facebook and see all the particulars they offer. Plus, they're open Monday through Saturday. LaGrange Equipment and Tool Rental, Greenville Street, LaGrange, next to CVS Pharmacy. Phone 706-882-8665. That's 706-882-8665. LaGrange Equipment and Tool Rental.
Give DJ a breather, and they're going to fake it to Bigsby. Dill's going to roll out.
He's got
Freeman wide open in the end zone.
Touchdown.
Freeman out of that tight end spot right there. He just did like a simple little drag route and then post-cornered it into the corner end zone, and he was wide open. Another good design play there for the Cavaliers, Andrew.
Yeah, play action, was able to sneak out Freeman. And, man, he was wide open in the end zone. Great pass by Dylan. And another touchdown, Callaway up 13-0. So, like I said, keep pounding, Callaway.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Kia Showroom. I'm Brandon Brooks with head coach Pete Wiggins of the Callaway Cavaliers. Big win last night as Callaway defeats Upson Lee 34-7. Coach, just want to talk briefly about your O-line, Dylan Johnson, Braylon, DJ Adkins. You have so many weapons on offense.
Well, up front, and we always say it always starts up front in the trenches, and those guys did a good job last night, particularly in the first half. We got some work to do as far as cleaning up some mistakes in the second half. We lost a little momentum, but on the left side, Keandre Jones at left tackle, he's progressed, and he's started every game there for us last year, and he's a 10th grader, and KJ's he's a big kid. He's 6'4", 295 pounds, and he's a big kid to be a 10th grader, to be any grade, I guess. But at left guard, Jalen Moss, and this is Jalen's first year starting, and he's a solid kid, and he works hard and always got a good attitude. But Jalen Moss is about 6 foot, and he's 280 pounds, and he's a big guard, and he's got good feet, and he's getting better each week. And at center, Lawrence Thompson, we just LT, we call him LT, but LT does a great job each week, and he's about 190 pounds. He's not as big as some of the kids, but he's gritty, and he's strong, and he's an old hard kid inside right there, and he started a whole bunch of games for us last year as a sophomore. But and then at right guard, John Curtis, who played a bunch of ball for us there last year at guard, and John had a good game last night, and his older brother Stephen played for us and graduated last year. But John's probably about 210 pounds, 215 pounds, and then at right tackle, Dominique Carter. He's Big Tex is what we call him. Big Tex is this is his first year at Callaway, and he moved in from a school out in Texas, and we felt like that Big Tex was appropriate. He's a big kid. He's 6'4", and he's about 255, 260. He's really got great agility for a big kid, though. He was actually a quarterback at the school he played that he came from, and but when we saw him, I said, we're gonna put your hand down in the grass. And anyway, he's done real well at that on the offensive line, and those kids progress each week, and there's always work to do. We've got a lot of missed assignments, and particularly in the second half, that we can do better at. And there's when we had the lead at halftime, and it's sometimes it's hard to keep the emotion, to keep their focus up, and Upson Lee gave us a couple different fronts on defense, and so all that together, I mean, it's not an excuse, but you can have some missed assignments, and some breakdowns, and it's just little things we got to get better at. But Jabrell Jackson, I feel like he's an offensive lineman in the backfield. Another solid game out of him. And you mentioned Dylan earlier. Dylan's he's a ball player, and on Friday nights he makes things happen, and he's a tough kid, and whether he's punting or whether he's playing quarterback or wherever he's at, he's a solid kid. And Braylon Sanders each week, just another big catch last night for a touchdown, and just an explosive guy that can do a lot of things. But really proud of our kids, and then at receiver, Coach Donay does a great job rotating a lot of kids. Khalid Swift had his first touchdown catch last night, and Khalid's a solid player, and he's a good kid. He don't say a whole lot, but again, those guys, Courtney Williams, DQ Wilkerson, they do a great job, and they work hard at receiver. And Coach Donay he takes a lot of pride in that, and it shows on Friday night. But that's our offensive side. I want to go through our defense too. I don't know.
Sure. Go ahead.
Anyway, on the defensive side, Coach Hubbard, I mentioned earlier, he did a heck of a job putting our kids in good situations, and our defense is not a typical defense, but it's a 4-4 look, but we move, we slant a lot up front, and it presents problems for people, and but we work at it hard, and the kids know it, and they can play fast, and again, just a heck of a job from Coach Hubbard last night. But up front on the defensive line, Thomas Hodge. I mean, Thomas Hodge is
great game last night.
He has played he's had a heck of a season, and Thomas Hodge is not your typical lineman. I mean, he's 173, 174 pounds, and his effort is phenomenal. And but he's always around the ball and on the defensive side. And last year he started just about every game at guard for us on the offensive line, and he can play. He can play a lot of positions. We can put him pretty much anywhere. I mean, we can play him at guard on the offensive line, but we need him on the defensive side right now. And one play he may be on the D-line, and then one play he's standing up at linebacker, and he gets it done wherever he's at. And I'm really proud of his effort. But Jamie Sellers, this is his first year starting. He's doing a great job, and I'm really proud of his effort. LaShawn Terrell, another big game out of him last night. And Sellers and LaShawn are, they're juniors, and just they've made a lot of progress. They've worked hard in the weight room. Really proud of those guys. And the old anchor of that defensive line is Keegan Woods. Keegan played there every snap last year, and Keegan's not overly fast, and he's 200 pounds, but he's a really smart player, and he plays great technique, and he's around the ball a lot of times, and he always does what you ask him to do. And it's just a solid kid up front. And at linebacker, Mike Freeman had a big game for us last night, winning the homecoming king. Really proud of Mike. And he also had a big touchdown catch, a little tight end out, able to get him in space, and just a talented young man. But our other starting linebacker, Jonathan Leonard. Leonard just gets better every week. And he had last year, he had some tough luck with injuries, had a couple of broken bones, and he just had a tough season last year. But I tell you what, he is a hard-nosed and young man with great attitude. He works his butt off in the weight room, and he comes to play on Friday night. Right. And again, kind of like Hodge, he's 165, 160 pounds maybe, and he's an inside linebacker. Well, you wouldn't know it because he plays like he's 210 pounds or 215 pounds, but he's always around the ball. And at outside backer, Taterbug, Kedrick Ramsey, Quay Hines, Travis Traylor, those kids play outside linebacker, and they're getting better each week. And at safety, Courtney Williams is doing a great job. Yeah. I feel like our back end, as far as the back end of our defense, and Courtney Williams and Kobe Jackson and Dominique Copeland, those kids are – it's a pretty solid secondary, and Coach Hubbard he's high on those guys, and he works them hard. Coach Hubbard does our secondary, and he and Coach Hayes, and they play hard, and they've made some big plays against some really good teams and some good players this year. Really proud of those guys. But just a solid effort, and there's several more kids that rotate in and out that give us a lot of time that are really important contributors on the defense, and I may miss somebody's name, but just a solid group of kids. On the way over here I was telling you about, we rotated during one series this week, just noticing we had 22 kids rotating during a 15-minute series, and there was 5 seniors. So it's a young group of kids that are out there on defense, but they're flying around and they're playing fast, and just a great group of kids.
Well, great win last night as the Cavaliers defeat Upson Lee 34-7. We're going to take a quick commercial break. I'm Brandon Brooks with head coach Pete Wiggins of the Callaway Cavaliers at the Kia showroom this morning for your Saturday morning quarterback show.
Hi, friends. Just like to hear with Kia of LaGrange. Our game plan is set, and our 16 model Kia's got to go to make room for the 17 models that are arriving daily. This means extra savings for you for all our 16 models. Right now, you can take home a 16 Kia Optima LX for as low as $19,900. With prices like this, they won't last long. Hurry to 1217 Lafayette Parkway and let our Star Savings team help you get in the Kia of your dreams. Check us out online at KiaofLaGrange.com to help support your local economy.
Price plus tax, tag, and title. Stock number 19112. Synovus Bank is here. And here, well, it's here in LaGrange, Georgia. Here is where the food tastes better and the air breathes like home. Here is a place that gets better because every generation leaves it better than they found it. Here is where Synovus helps people turn their ideas into business realities because the bankers at Synovus understands what it means to be from here. Synovus, the bank of here, serving you locally as Commercial Bank and Trust. Banking products provided by division of Synovus Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Deciding to sell or buy a home is a big step. To make sure it's a step in the right direction, choose the person best qualified to handle your real estate needs. Joel and Rob Upchurch have been breaking sales records every year since 1997. They truly are the real estate leaders in West Georgia. So take a step in the right direction. Contact Joel or Rob Upchurch at RE/MAX Results because they are dedicated to results and converting transactions into relationships.
Introducing the most valuable provider, your nationally ranked WellStar West Georgia Medical Center, ranked a top 100 large community hospital by Truven Health Analytics, named a top 100 great community hospital by Becker's Hospital Review, rated top 100 in medical excellence and patient safety by CareChecks. WellStar West Georgia Medical Center, award-winning healthcare right here in LaGrange. To learn more, visit wellstar.org/WGMC. We believe in life well lived.
All right, trips left. Puckett takes it, rolls to his left. He fires a dart.
Intercepted.
Across the middle. Intercepted over there by number 11, Kobe Jackson.
Pick
He
six.
gets through the offense.
Touchdown.
Across the goal line. Touchdown, Cavaliers. Doing it on offense and defense, Andrew.
Yeah, offense and defense. Now we just need the special teams to chip in right there, Shane. So great job by Kobe. He looked like he was in a cover 2 look. Sat on the route, picked it off, and took it to the house. So great job by Callaway's defense.
Welcome back to the Saturday Morning Quarterback Show. I'm Brandon Brooks with head coach Pete Wiggins, and the guys describing Kobe's pick six last night. Just a super exciting time to be at Callaway Stadium for just a great, great homecoming night, big homecoming win. Coach, I want you to talk just briefly. We see what goes on under the lights, but describe again for our listeners and those that are following along with us on this Saturday morning, all that goes into the pregame meal and taking care of the guys.
Well, each week I always want to say a big thank you to all those that prepare meals and do the little things behind the scenes that make things go round. And Miss Cindy Stevens, I mean, again, she's always in the mix, and I appreciate her. That's Noah's mom, and I appreciate everything she does. But yesterday, a pregame meal, and I'm going to say yesterday when I was introducing them in front of the kids, I always like to say whose mom they are. And I know the kids know them, but I like to say that. Right. Anyway, KJ's mom, Miss Antronice, I appreciate her greatly. It was a great meal yesterday. Miss Jalen Moss's mom, Miss Demetrius, and Marcio Brooks' mother. Miss Brooks, I appreciate those ladies so much, and had a great meal yesterday. It was chicken and green beans, mac and cheese, and it was my old school mac and cheese. Yes, it's real deal like me ma used to make. And anyway, it was good stuff. But Miss Sheila Allen, golly, Miss Sheila, just again, day in and day out, just making our school go round in the athletic end. And I can't ever say thank you enough to Miss Sheila for everything she does. And people don't know what all she does and takes care of business, from the homecoming parade to the ball games on Friday night. But I want to also say good morning to Daddy. I know he's listening over in Radburn, Alabama, and I hope Rick is, and hope Rick's feeling a little better this morning. But anyway, big win for us, big win for our kids, our community, and going against a big school, a well-coached team, and I know they're going to win a lot of ball games, and just proud of our effort and the physicality that we were able to play with last night, and against a good opponent.
Absolutely.
And this week we'll play another 5A school in Harris County. It'll be a big challenge on the road. We need those red shirts in the stands supporting the Cavaliers on Friday night down in Hamilton. Again, just our kids, I feel like that we're growing each week as far as getting better, and we'll keep pushing, keep demanding out of them. We'll watch film Sunday, and just keep grinding each week, and got to get ready for Harris County come Friday. It'll be a tough ball game on the road.
Yeah, go a little south down to Hamilton, Georgia, to play Harris County High School as your Callaway Cavaliers 2A school take on a big 5A school down in Hamilton. Well, for Brandon Brooks and Coach Pete Wiggins for your Saturday morning quarterback show, it's been a joy and a great homecoming week, and it's been a great week to be a Callaway Cavalier. to all the Callaway family and everybody listening this morning. Hope you have a great weekend, and we'll see you next Friday night in Hamilton as your Callaway Cavaliers take on Harris County. I'm Brandon Brooks for Coach Pete Wiggins for your Saturday morning quarterback show here at the Kia Showroom in LaGrange.
Thanks for listening to the Callaway Cavaliers Kia